I met my soon-to-be ex-wife 8 years ago. We both were working. She works as an architectural designer, and I work for the US Post Office. Yep, I deliver mail. Fun job. Sometimes when the weather is bad, it sucks, but for the most part, I like it. It's a lot of exercise. I stay in good shape. Even though I still go to the gym, I do a lot of walking. I'm always on my feet, and I got some really good buddies that are dogs that I get to see often. They love me and I bring them treats. I met my soon-to-be ex-wife at her house while I was delivering her mail one day. She came running out to hand me the mail to return, but she fell, and it was pretty bad. Really bad. Yeah, she actually scraped up her legs pretty bad and hit her face on the concrete. I said, "Oh hey, are you all right?" She starts crying, gets up, and says, Yes, I am." Limping, walking over to hand me the mail to return. After she hands me the mail, she's just standing there clearly injured. I said, "Well, I got to get going on my route. Take care." She looked up shocked when I turned around and looked back at her while I was walking away. I think she was expecting me to help her more or something, but I mean, I did have a route to do. I can't just stop. Well, I mean, if she was passed out, then maybe I would have stayed until the police came. But she was up walking, so I pulled off in my mail truck. I wished her well though. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, I had to deliver there again. This address, my soon-to-be ex-wife's address, was not a typical route for me, but when I delivered there again, she was getting out of her car. And she says, "Hey, mean mailman." I laughed. "Mean mailman? What do you mean?" She says, "You just left me injured and didn't help me." I said, "You were up walking just fine. I figured you were good." We both burst into laughter. She said with a smile, "Oh my gosh, you're such a piece of crap. Let's hang out sometime." I did notice the first time, and my soon-to-be ex-wife is very attractive. By the way, she still has the bruise on her face. She showed me the scar on her legs and said, "Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm tough." Anyway, she told me that I should take her out sometime. I then say, "You ever heard of Whistle Now?" She says, "Yeah, I've been there a few times." I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yeah, on the weekends with coworkers." I said, "Wow, I'm there almost every weekend shooting pool, and I've never seen you before. I feel like I know everyone there. Anyway, I'll be there this weekend. Come on by. I'm usually there from 8 till midnight." She said, "Okay." That Saturday night, I got there around 9 p.m. As soon as I walk in, I see a woman jump up and head over, and it was her. She says, "Hey, I'm glad you came. I was hoping to see you tonight." We hung out all night until 1 a.m., shooting pool, drinking, and talking. We really got along well, laughed and joked about her falling, and she told me I was an a-hole for leaving her. But something about it turned her on. We made out and had an amazing night that night. She got a ride home from her friend, and I went home. We ended up talking and texting for about a month before we saw each other again. The second time was dinner and a movie, then drinks after, and we went back to her place after. It was good. She made me breakfast the next morning, then proceeded to ask me if I was a relationship type of guy. I said, "Yeah, it had been 3 years since I was in one, but I absolutely am." And I said, "Of course, I want to build up to that and just not jump straight into one because the sex was spectacular." She threw pillow at me with a smile and said, "Oh my gosh, you're such a jerk." We laughed and she said, "I'd love to work towards that if you're okay with it." I said, "Okay," and that's when we started dating. Not confirmed exclusive yet, but we went on several dates. I went to her company's Christmas party. She met my cousins on a trip to Gatlinburg. We eventually became exclusive and later we married. The marriage started off great. We were married for 4.5 years before my ex-wife decided she wanted to go back to school. She needed to obtain her grad degree so she could later sit for the test to become a licensed architect. All of her student loans were paid off already, and grad school was paid for because of something called research assistance or assistantship, though it really wasn't a big deal. Yeah, she wasn't going to be working, though there's one income, but she still got a little bit of income, and it all still was going to work out. And I actually encouraged her to do it because that's something she's always wanted to do. Why not? We don't have any children. Get it out the way now while you can. Anyway, it was just a 2-year program, so first semester was okay. She was gone a lot though. A lot of studio time. That's what she would call it. A lot of late nights working on projects, but it worked out. The school she attended was only 25 minutes from where we were living, so the drive wasn't too terrible for her. But the second semester is when I discovered some BS. One night, she came home very late, well after 1 a.m. Now coming home late wasn't unusual. Maybe 11 at night, sometimes even 12, depending on if she's working on a project. But I just had a gut feeling this night. When she got home, she was very nervous. She was darn near shaking. I couldn't understand, and I'm asking, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" She said, "Yeah, I'm good. I just want to take a shower and go to bed so we can enjoy Saturday tomorrow and go on our trail." We used to go walking on trails and have picnics every weekend, especially around this time. I put my hands on her shoulder and I was asking her, "Are you okay? Something's not right." She puts her head down and she starts to tear up. I said, "What is wrong with you? Something happened to you. What happened?" Immediately, I started thinking somebody harmed her somehow, some way, or she's hurt about something. I just knew it. She looked at me and said, "Please don't be upset with me, please." I said, "Okay, I guess. What's going on?" She told me that she slept with someone else. I back off and I'm staring at her and I said, "Excuse me? You did what?" She repeats. "I slept with someone else." I said, "Who did you sleep with?" She told me it doesn't matter. I got in her face and I said, "Who did you cheat on me with?" She told me it was her instructor. He's one of the instructors she was doing research for during grad studies, and apparently, she started sleeping with him. According to her, he flirted with her a lot. She always pushed him away until this night. For some reason, she said she just gave in. When I was asking her the name of the professor, she told me and I said, "You've got to be kidding me." This man had been to my house before. Old man. Creepy looking guy as well. I attended my soon-to-be ex-wife's first presentation for some big events that the grad students had to pull off, and he was there. I spoke to this man a lot at that time. I didn't know that she was doing research for him specifically, but he seemed to gravitate towards me and wanted to talk to me most of the night. I guess I understand now. It's a little weird though. I tell her to pack her crap and get the F out of my house. She started bawling, crying, and drops to the floor. "What do you mean? What are you talking about? I can't just leave. Where am I going to go?" I told her I don't give a crap. "Leave. You're not staying here. Get out." And when I said get out, I did yell that pretty aloud. It was like a roar, a lion's roar. She was silent. She grabbed her keys and she left. I didn't know where she was going. I didn't even care. This marriage was over to me. The next day, I did find a lawyer. I told the lawyer everything. He was asking all kinds of questions. We don't own a home. We don't have any joint accounts, and I was concerned. I told him that she currently is in school. Will I be responsible of taking care of her since she's not working? And he assured me he'll make sure that I don't have to pay her a dime because she's able to work. She's paying for her own education. She's able to do this, so I believe him. We'll see how that goes. I initially did not block my ex-wife. She called and texted me so many times, begging for me to take her back, begging to not go to the school and let the proper people know what was going on. Her begging did not work. We do share the same phone line. I got everything, even emails of her with the instructor. Him sending her love letters. She actually did tell him no a number of times and proved that they actually stuck together because he sent her a love note via email from his school address thanking her for sharing her love with him. It was weird and creepy. I got everything. Documents. I first gave it to my lawyer. I found the proper people to speak with at the university, and just recently, I received a letter stating that that instructor was terminated, lost his job, and my soon-to-be ex-wife was kicked out of the graduate program. I saw her Facebook post saying her life is over. Her career is over because of one little mistake, and she wishes she could rewind time and fix things, but she can't. Her life is done. People are under her post saying, "Don't talk like that. Don't do anything to yourself." Her family is afraid that she's going to try to harm herself. I don't give a crap what she does. We're done. You don't disrespect me like that. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you next time.